There's no shot this guy plays. I think the Giants would be foolish to try to rush him back. Even though he is more machine than man, I can't even believe he's even walking and jumping around as he is at practice with basically a high sprained ankle. The guy's a freak. But I think this is the week that the Vikings, I mean, let's be honest, it's a trend. Vikings play a good team, they suck. When the Vikings play a bad team, they're great. I mean, I'm going to stick with the trend. Vikings, -4.5.
Well, yeah, I mean, Saquon is a god, though, so that is your answer. But my first pick, I will go with the Browns +3.5 versus the Niners. This one feels like robbery. I'm not going to lie, Steve. It's in San Francisco, and yes, the Niners are undefeated, but they played the Broncos, the Bengals, the Steelers. I mean, not really many good teams. I think the Browns looked good last week. They're really starting to settle into the identity that they were trying to find, getting Chubb going in the receivers. I really do think the Browns should win this outright. So to get them as an underdog is kind of a steal at +3.5. But I'll take it. I mean, Jimmy G's got to show up again. He did versus the Steelers, but again, this is a beat-up Steelers team. So I don't think it was that impressive.
Yeah, I like that pick. I like the Browns +3.5. I actually was going to take that, but I did not. I do like that pick, though. I actually might do that in real life and actually bet that. All right, next one for you. Something's got to give here, and I picked the Cardinals a couple times this year. I mean, eventually you got to break through. Cardinals +3.5 going on the road to Cincinnati. Cincinnati doesn't have a good defense. I mean, for God's sake, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't know why I'm forgetting his name right now. Mason Rudolph lit up the Cincinnati Bengals for 2 touchdowns. I mean, if he can do that, Kyler Murray's going to have a big game. Cliff, let's go. Got to win a game. Come on now. Now you're 3-1 now. They've been in every game. The last game was a disappointment. They could have beat the Carolina Panthers. They didn't. This is going to be the week here that the Arizona Cardinals win their first game. Kyler Murray gets his first career win. Give me the Cardinals +3.5 on the road in Cincinnati.
Yep. So my next pick, and I'm very confident in this as well, I'm going with the Cowboys -3.5.
Love it.
Packers. It's in Dallas. Listen, it's a tough place to play for any team. Now, I'm not necessarily so sold on Dallas being, an elite contender up there with the Patriots and Chiefs. They're certainly a good team, but this is all about the Packers being frauds. We kind of saw them crumble a little bit versus Philly, and I can feel the inner workings slowly turn the tides. The Cowboys are going to run down the Packers' throats, and they can't handle that. I mean, their rush defense has started to let up as the season's gone on. I think we're going to start to see some rift in that offense for Green Bay. They're not that good of a team. They should be getting exposed. Let the Cowboys do it this week. The Lions will take care of them next week. And then we can move on from this whole Rodgers and the Packers are Super Bowl team. Get out of here with that.
Love it! Mikey's on fire today. I love that pick, and I think he's exactly dead on. I think the Cowboys are going to run it down the Packers' throats. They're really struggling defensively, as we saw last week against Philly. They actually played a real team, and that's what happens when you're not as good as you are and you play a good team. You get exposed. Exposure hour. That's really what happened in Green Bay. Last one for you. Went with the Saints last week. They did me good. I'm going to go with them again. Teddy Bridgewater. I can't say it enough. The guy's not going to throw for 400 yards, but you know what he's going to do? Not turn the ball over and keep you in the game. Give me the Saints -3.5 over the Bucks. It's typical Bucks fashion to go to LA, put up 55 points, and go to New Orleans in a big spot and completely crumble. That's what's going to happen here. The Bucks are inconsistent. They've got an inconsistent quarterback. Even though he did win NFC Offensive Player of the Week, it's just in typical Bucks fashion to have a great game and then have a disaster game. Saints have just really battled so far. I can't say enough good things about Sean Payton. As much as I can't stand the Saints, you have to respect them. Give me the Saints -3.5 here at home against the Bucks. I think they roll.
Yeah, last pick for me, I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs -10.5. Bit of a high spread versus a Colts team that has been pretty respectable to start the season, but I do think that the Chiefs are top 2 team in the league. I know a lot of people are giving them flack for playing the Lions really close, but listen, this is a good Lions team this year. That was a gutsy win from Mahomes to do that. The whole game, Mahomes seemed to be a little off with his receivers, overthrowing Kelsey from time to time. I think this is something that you watch in the film room, you get ready for the next week. Those are the throws that he makes. easily can beat the Colts by 2 touchdowns at home. They'll fix those errors and they'll run it up next week. That's just kind of the team that they have in Kansas City right now. Yeah.
Big week. I can't stress it enough. I am at 5-7, Hicks at 6-6. In the recap here, Vikes -4.5, Cardinals +3.5, Saints -3.5, and for Mikey Boy, Browns +3.5, Cowboys -3.5, Chiefs -10.5. Update on Penn State, who they play this weekend, Hick?
Yeah, we've got Purdue. It's homecoming. It's kind of, right now it's just win to stay afloat. You'll get on the road at Iowa next week, and then the whiteout versus Michigan, which yours truly will be in attendance.
Yes, sir.
It's just kind of stay afloat until you get to the real opponents. Don't drop any of these fluke games. Big Ten's not looking as strong as maybe it was. Ohio State's the only true team that's going to be a threat to the playoffs. So if you can somehow manage to win all your games into November to play Ohio State, that's going to be a huge stakes game on the line.
I want to do something really quickly, Hick. Last like 30 seconds here. If you had to give me your power rankings for college football right now, you give me your top 4 teams. Is it still your basic? I think we kind of know what it is. It's Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, whatever maybe Oklahoma. But give me your number 1 and number 4 Hick rankings really quickly.
Yeah, I think number 1 you have to go with how they played this year. You have to go Ohio State. I would have put Alabama in there, but I think Ohio State has just really been composed. I mean, Fields has emerged as an absolute star. And to go into Nebraska, I mean, listen, that's a team. They're on the rebuild right now, so it's not going to look pretty at all times. But to actually stomp on them in a night game like that, that's not an easy thing to do. I hate them, but I think they deserve number 1 right now. 2 is Alabama. They do all their Alabama things. 3 would probably be Georgia because they have, their win versus Notre Dame was pretty impressive, and obviously I like what they've got there with Swift and Strom. And then number 4, you got to go Clemson. They would have been higher on this list, but you can't have a scare versus North Carolina in the ACC. That's an unacceptable close game that they should have lost. And they're a playoff team. They don't need to prove that they can beat these bad teams because they prove when they get in the playoffs that they mean damage. So they're allowed to get a pass, but they're my 4 seed right now.
Mikey Sharp today, very good. I agree with everything he just said, and I actually agree with the rankings. I probably would have flip-flopped Ohio State and Alabama, but I agree where Clemson is. They've been kind of underwhelming thus far. I actually do think they'll slip up eventually. But good stuff from Mikey. Gives us his picks, gives up his rankings. He's the hardest working man in sports. Hick, have a great week, buddy, and we will talk to you next week. Good luck.
Thanks, Steve. We are.